Hey guys, Miss Smith. I really wanted to chime in because there's a lot of stress right now concerning the packets and schoolwork. How do I get it all done? What do I need to do? When will it be turned in? How are things going to be graded? So I just wanted to stop in today to one tell you to relax. Just relax. It's okay. Everybody knows that things are crazy right now and things will be adjusted. And so, first of all, I just want to look at our quote here. It says, no matter how slow you progress, you're still a way ahead of everyone who isn't trying. And so as long as you're trying, you are going to be fine. So first of all, I want to talk about how do you manage this? How do I manage my day and my time with all the demands that come in the packet and the work, or if you're working from online? First thing is you need to make a schedule. You may need to get up a little bit earlier. I'm not saying you got to get up at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning like you were doing before school started, but you may want to be up by 9 because then that gives you more time in the day to focus. Okay. And especially if you're at home and like at my house, there's distractors. It's the way it works. On our Google Classroom, I did post a possible schedule for you to use. And matter of fact, if you hang tight, I'll kind of show that. Let's go look at that real quick. Let's see if I can find it here in my files, and I would love to show that to you. So here is a possible schedule. You do not have to follow this schedule. It is simply an idea. So before 9 a.m., wake up, and it says morning walk, some type of exercise, get up, dance to some music, put your favorite song on, kind of get yourself together between 9 and 10 a.m. That's your time to kind of wake up and start your day. If you want to go outside and take a walk or walk in the backyard or get fresh air if you're able to do that. If not, put your song on, dance to some music. Exercise is actually very good for stress and it's super great for the brain. It actually helps get oxygen to the brain and get the brain flowing. So if you notice in the morning you're up by 9. Okay, want to get up, make sure you get some breakfast, get dressed as if you're starting a normal day. The more you get on a routine, the easier some of these things are going to become for you. The next thing is, again, that morning walk, workout. If you've got a parent at home that walks or works out, work out with them. If you've got little ones and they're excited, maybe you can dance to their Barney songs. I don't know, do they still watch Barney? Maybe not, but you know what I'm saying. So a little Einstein or something, but spend some time being active in the morning. Then start your academic work. I know here it says no electronics. If you're working from the packet, that's great. But if you're working from online, then you may need to be on the computer, and that's okay. But notice that's only for an hour. After that hour, you need to take a break. Give your brain a break. It is okay. All right. So after the break, do something creative. Do something you like. Draw. Write a song. It is okay. Play a game. Do something creative during that time. Paint. Whatever it is that kind of things that you may not normally get to do. If you make bracelets, make bracelets. Talk to a friend. Do something creative and fun. Again, that creativity is good for the brain. If you're a student and it takes you a lot of time to get your work done, you may want to work from 10 to 12. You may need 2 solid hours of work, and that is okay as well. You can substitute the creative time for the academic time. Then about noonish, noon or you want to try to have a lunch, sit down and have something to eat. If a parent's picking up your meals, that may vary, but you want to try to have a scheduled lunchtime if you can, just to kind of keep you on track. Then if there's things you need to help out with around the house, this may vary depending on what your parent. They may want you up at 7 to do your chores instead of this time. But again, you need to create a schedule that's going to work for you. From 1 to 2:30, it says quiet time. So again, you're reading. This would be a great time to read some articles for ELA. But if not, a book, a magazine. You can even get online and read some articles. This is a great time to read. Reading actually helps the brain develop. Even though you're older, please keep reading. Or do a puzzle or math. Starting hopefully next week, don't know when, I actually will begin to read a book, and it's called A Long Walk to Water. And so if you wanted to during that quiet time, you could maybe chime in and check out the video for that story that we'll be reading together. At 2:30, you want to get back to work time. Now, I would probably cut quiet time to an hour. I would probably do 1 to 2 because you guys are older, you can handle that. And then at 2 o'clock, so from 2 to 4, you're back on academic work. You're working on something academic. When you're doing that, divide the time up. So if at 10 o'clock, you're going to work, you have 4 core classes. And so maybe from 10 to 11, I'm going to work on math. And then when I come back to work at 2 o'clock, from 2 to 3, I'm going to work on ELA. And then from 3 to 4, I'm going to work on either science or social studies, and then you could rotate. So today, if I worked on science, tomorrow I do social studies, math, and ELA. Or you can divide up that first hour, 30 minutes for social studies, 30 minutes for science. Then when you come down here at 2 o'clock, you spend an hour on math, an hour on ELA. That's what I would suggest every day. Okay. And those are your goals. And then whatever you don't finish, you could always go back to. We'll talk about not being able to finish work, having a lot of work in one day. I get it, but I really do want you guys to relax. I promise you, it's all going to work out and it's going to be okay. Guaranteed. I can just about guarantee that. So take a deep breath with me. Blow it out. Let's do that 3 times. That was time number 1. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. That's time number 2. Time number 3, deep breath in. Blow it out. Great job. It's going to be okay. All right. So in the afternoon, some fresh air. Go outside, walk, play, just do something fun. Okay. Even if you just open the door and walk to the mailbox and back, your body's going to need some fresh air, especially if you've been inside a lot, spent a lot of time inside. From 5 to 6 o'clock is dinner time. At my house, that's way too early. We normally eat between 6 and 7. So again, you can use this time to do something else. But again, take some time to breathe and relax in between all of your work. If you want to use this time as work time because you're not eating dinner till later, you can do that. Obviously, most of you are not going to bed at 8 or 9. I do want to suggest, though, that after 6 o'clock, you're not working on schoolwork if you can help it because you're already out of school. Do what you can do. Now, if you do need that time because that's when the internet is available or that's when the phone comes home from mom or whatever the case may be, but give yourself a cutoff time, okay? So make sure that although you're scheduling time for schoolwork, that you cut it off. So that was the first thing I wanted to address was having a schedule. Those things are going to be super duper important for you during this time. So let's go back here to our picture, our progress. So we talked about having a schedule. So the work packet and the stuff online is the same thing, except for the work packet only has your ELA and your math, okay? So if you're looking for science materials, they've already been posted to Google or they are on the Cumberland at Home website. With all of your work, the final grades will go in after this work has to be turned in. How the county is going to do that, when they're going to do that, I don't know, but it won't be until we return back to school, most likely. And so that means really you have to May 15th. It used to be March 30th, now to May 15th. So there's time. You don't want to wait to the end and try to do it all. But again, let's say you don't finish all the science today. Not a big deal. You go back in and finish it tomorrow. You will not receive late credit and you will not receive any points off for work that is late. You are at home. Things are different. I'm not there to help. There's different responsibilities. There's a lot going on. Relax. That is the same for all of your classes. Do the work that you're able to do. Sometimes you might see a teacher put a grade or 2 in. Again, we're grading just based on those that have turned it in. If you're writing it at home and you're going to turn it in later, not a problem. You will not see zeros go in for that. If you saw a 0 in your grade book for science, the only reason is that was the web quest that was actually due to me before we left school. Okay. Otherwise, none of the work that's been assigned since you've been out will you receive a 0 for unless you don't turn it in at all. But again, you have until the 3rd day after we return back to school to submit that work. If time changes and they change the submission time and what needs to be done, I will notify you, but you can relax. That whole package, you have this time to work on it. Take a deep breath again. It's okay. These are my notes that are falling here. All right, so work, packets, due dates. Don't worry about it. We've talked about grades. Things will be graded as we get those in. There are some things like if you're doing the Google quizzes, yes, you've already done it, so I've been dropping the grade in. We'll see what Cumberland County wants us to do with that as well, so don't worry about it. There are plans in place to make sure that every single student is successful. So do the best you can on the work. Keep your brain flowing. Don't stress over it. And that was the last thing. So in Power School again, different information is going out. The governor just announced the other day that we will be out probably till May 15th at least. And so again, there may be some changes. They might add additional work because really the first set of work you got was up till March 30th. So not sure how that'll work yet. I will let you know, but don't stress. Whatever work you get again will not be due until we return back to school or until a much later deadline. So you're just to be working on those things daily. You can go back and forth if you missed assignment in our Google Classroom, since I have them chunked by different parts to help you get through the packet. You just go to the classwork section and go to that date. And work on it at home. Make sure you're keeping up with everything. Make sure you're putting your name on everything. But again, this is going to be okay. If you have questions regarding work and what you need to do, please email me or Google Classroom. Send me a message. Hopefully next week we can maybe start some face-to-face time with Zoom. I'm looking into that program, working on it. You're already ahead of the game. You're doing great. There's no reason to stress. Do as much as you can from your classes each day. And before you know it, you will have accomplished everything. Make yourself a schedule, get some fresh air, go outside, take some walks, enjoy life, be creative, and relax. It's going to be okay. I hope this information helped you a little bit, and I'll be in touch soon. Take care. Miss you guys. Miss Smith.